coming up at 4:30. A new update surrounding the Nashville shooting has been released. We have a statement from the police chief and a look at a Good Samaritan that helped the survivors. Plus, the Liberal Arts Symposium at UCO featured many speakers today, including a nationally renowned screenwriter, a word from him. And we have a severe weather chance for the rest of the week. Your full weather forecast and more on this edition of UCentral News.
Good evening, I'm Brady Gray.
And I'm Miracle Garrett. Welcome to this edition of UCentral News at 4:30. And we're getting more details about the horror that played out in Monday's school shooting in Tennessee that left 6 dead. Some of the children who fled the shooting at Covenant School in Nashville escaped through the woods.
That's according to a Good Samaritan who helped them escape. Jason Hoffman said at first he didn't know what was happening until he saw kids coming out of the school and onto a busy road. Here's what he had to say.
To cover in my car and just tried to flee the area. As I was going down the road to get away from the gunshots, I see police everywhere. I had no idea at the time what was going on. I didn't know if it was like a police chase that ended up in a shootout. It was when I saw the teacher come out of the woods and the kids behind her that my heart sunk, and I was hoping that it had nothing to do with school. But of course we found out later on that it did.
Hoffman recorded video of the escape and said he and others stopped their cars to get out and help.
Metro Nashville Police Chief John Drake released several statements, including how difficult this has been for the community. There's a new update that Chief Drake shared with audiences. Here's what he had to say.
We've talked to the school. We have some of our executive staff meeting with the school. I met with the school this morning. We met with the parents, and as of right now, we don't have any indication there was any problems at the school or at home.
We will keep you updated with this tragedy as more is released. Please follow us at UCentral Media on Facebook and Twitter for updates.
In air travel news, the Protection from Abusive Passengers Act, which claims to improve air travel safety, has been reintroduced. The Washington lawmakers' reintroduction hopes that the act will hold airline passengers more accountable for their behavior and go beyond banning unruly individuals from specific airlines, but rather ban them from flying altogether. Flyers who find themselves banned will end up on the ban list maintained by the TSA. The list of banned flyers would be separate from the FBI's no-fly list and will require, quote, serious and violent abuse, end quote, from the banned passenger.
And speaking of travel, across the ocean, we have a new development from Russia, as Russian leaders say the country will no longer notify the U.S. about its nuclear weapon activities. Russia's deputy foreign minister says the country won't meet the requirements of the New START treaty. That's after President Vladimir Putin suspended Russia's participation in the treaty, which is the only bilateral agreement left between the world's two largest nuclear powers. Russian state media says their statement includes notifications on test missile launches, but the Russian state media was not specific on that point. Those are covered under the original treaty and have contributed to stability for decades. A senior Pentagon official says in response, the U.S. is suspending similar notifications.
And North Korea's leader, Kim Jong-un, is calling for the expansion of production of weapons-grade nuclear materials, According to the state media, this is in order to increase the country's nuclear arsenal. According to state media KCNA, Kim oversaw the mounting of nuclear warheads onto ballistic missiles on Monday. South Korea's Joint Chiefs of Staff say they are evaluating whether the warheads would actually, quote, work. Kim Jong-un had made similar orders in 2022 to increase the arsenal as well for the country.
And in Oklahoma political news, NonDoc reports that Oklahoma legislator has requested to speak to Oklahoma State Superintendent of Public Instruction Ryan Walters. The request was made so Walters could answer questions about Oklahoma State Department of Education operations and claims that Walters made about Oklahoma schools. Walters is expected to be at the Capitol on Thursday to speak on the front steps at a pro-school choice rally hosted by the Parent Empowerment Coalition. Governor Stitt is also expected to be in attendance. And shortly after, Walters took to Twitter stating because of the hiring freeze, he has helped the department save over $1.3 million in taxpayers' money. We will keep you updated with information as it comes in.
And the weather outside is looking good today, but we've got severe weather right around the corner potentially. We're kicking to Destiny Pittman with our first look. Destiny?
Good evening, Broncos. So yes, there is a chance for severe weather starting Thursday night. It's going to start late Thursday night and carrying on until early Friday morning. And with that severe weather, there is going to be a chance of hail up to the size of a golf ball. So if you're going to be out, just make sure that you're safe. And then if you have a car, just make sure that it's covered so that you can prevent hail damage. And then moving on, Edmond is going to be under a fire watch starting Friday due to the high winds, so just keep that in mind. And then temperatures are going to start to warm up next week. So moving on into the current conditions. So outside currently it is 66 degrees and it's pretty fair and breezy. It's been sunny most of the day, so as you saw, there were probably no clouds in the sky. It is a little windy though, and the wind is blowing south at 22 miles per hour. And then it is also a little humid. The humidity rate is 32%. And because of that wind, it does feel like it is 64 degrees outside. That is all I have for now. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Destiny. Cadet Eulaby, a sophomore at UCO and a part-time soldier in the Oklahoma Army National Guard, received a 3-year Army ROTC scholarship worth approximately $50,000. The scholarship can pay for full tuition, room and board, books, and monthly stipend money. Eulaby also received a promotion in the National Guard and will commission as a second lieutenant in 2 years upon graduating from UCO. ROTC scholarships are competitive and based heavily on a student's GPA. Students may compete for undergraduate and master's scholarships through the ROTC recruiter located in Thatcher Hall or contact them at armyrotc@uco.edu.
This afternoon, the University of Central Oklahoma hosted the 35th Annual Liberal Arts Symposium. The symposium highlighted students' work and research with a speech from a screenplay writer, Ryan Redcorn, screenwriter of award-winning TV show Reservation Dogs, which takes place in Oklahoma. Redcorn had much to say about how Oklahoma and indigenous heritage impacts his work, evident in Reservation Dogs, which was produced by a team of creators who were either indigenous or Oklahoman. With this discussion, Redcorn later spoke on his enthusiasm for the future of Oklahoma film.
And back here in Edmond, the beloved rocket ship has returned to Stevenson Park as an art feature after being removed in 2022 due to safety concerns. The slide portion of the rocket was removed and donated to the Edmond History Museum. This reinstallation is a part of Edmond's $6 million investment in the park and surrounding areas, which will also add green space, stormwater and water infrastructure, new lighting, and an updated playground area.
And Arbor Week celebrations began in Edmond on Monday with exciting community events and volunteer opportunities. UCentral's Andrew Frazier tells us about the Arbor Day Art Show at the Edmond Historical Society and Museum.
Here at the museum in Edmond, you can see walls lined with Edmond grade schoolers' depictions of trees around the city for the annual Arbor Day Art Show. The exhibition is open until April 29th and features the 3 best pieces of art from each participating Edmond school. The museum's Director of Education, Anna Studstill, filled us in about what this competition entails for the young students.
The art exhibit has been going on since 2011. It's a partnership between the museum and the City of Edmond's Urban Forestry Department. There are 4 different levels of prizes. So honorable mention, 3rd place and 2nd place all receive like nature or tree themed books. And then the 1st place winners also receive a book as well as a redbud tree to plant.
If you'd like to get in on the action, events continue near the Westfield Monument at Mitch Park this Saturday for the annual Arbor Day tree planting. Volunteers are encouraged to wear comfortable clothing, closed-toed shoes, and sun protection. Lunch, shovels, and work gloves will be provided, but volunteers can also bring their own supplies. From Edmond, Oklahoma, Andrew Frazier, UCentral News.
Thank you, Andrew. And in other Arbor Day news, Energy Saving Trees is a program brought to us by Edmond Electric and Edmond Urban Forestry, which is aiming to provide the Edmond community with free trees. Strategically planted trees are used to lower energy costs and improve quality of life, which is the aim of the program for Edmond communities. 270 trees will be free to claim beginning April 3rd, so residents are asked to reserve their trees online at arborday.org/Edmond Electric. Residents who reserve trees will be available to pick them up at Bickman-Rudkin Park from 2 to 6 p.m. on April 6th and 7th.
And also happening here in Edmond, they are accepting entries for the Touch a Truck fundraiser right here at UCO. June 3rd from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., kids of all ages can come to the UCO parking lot to experience larger-than-life vehicles. This gives the kids the opportunities to interact with the trucks and the community to support leaders like police officers, firefighters, and more. The event is suggested $2 donation to the Hope Center of Edmond, and they hope to beat last year's goal of $6,500.
Oklahoma City residents will have a chance to get rid of some unwanted items. The city is asking residents to bring any tires, prescription medication, ammunition, and computers to the south side of the Oklahoma City Fairgrounds on Saturday, April 1st. Items such as syringes, inhalers, liquids, tire rims, televisions, radios, microwaves, and wheels will not be accepted, however. And this week's temperatures have been warming up. We'll see if that's it for the rest of our cold weather this year.
Destiny Pittman has your full week forecast next. Stay tuned.
I was raised to believe in the power of possibility, to always move forward but never forget where I came from, to value hard work, ingenuity, and hospitality. On one hand, my people are rough and rugged. On the other, refined and elegant. They taught me how to love beautiful things and cherish my past, to seek out adventure, eat well, and to have a good time. So I keep their traditions alive every place I go. They call me Oklahoma City, but you can call me the modern frontier.
UCentral News as a whole, you got to be in those different areas, like being on camera, being off camera, being in the control room. And so I feel like that is what prepared me most about being in the workplace.
UCentral and the Mass Comm department has provided me all the tools and the fundamentals that are needed in order to thrive well and thrive fast at my job.
Maybe it's time to hit the road and visit a place where stories unfold. This is the land of the ultimate road trip, with sights old and new on Route 66. There's fun to be had, so much to do, and a few new surprises before you get through. Oklahoma has the most miles to share of Route 66. It's really quite rare. TravelOK.com will show you the way. Come see for yourself this iconic highway.
Welcome back. We're going to start doing a statewide look of what the weather is going to be like tonight. So we'll start up in Guyman. So up in Guyman tonight is going to be 42 degrees, and then down in Woodward and Clinton and Enid, it's going to be 46 in all three of those cities, and then down to Altus. So Altus is actually going to be 47 tonight, and then 49 up in Lawton. And then the Oklahoma City and Edmond area are both going to be about 50, 51 degrees tonight. And then down in Ardmore is going to be our coolest part of the state tonight, and it's going to be below freezing at 31 degrees. And then over in Idabel and McAllister, both of those are going to be at 50 degrees tonight. And then Tulsa is going to be 48, 46 up in Ponca, and 45 up in Miami. So we're next going to move on to our 7-day forecast. So starting with today, outside today, it was pretty warm. It was about 66 degrees. It was a nice day. There weren't too many clouds in the sky. And then the low for tonight is going to be 50 degrees. And then moving on to Thursday and Friday. So these are going to be our days with severe weather. The weather is going to start late Thursday, and carry on until early Friday morning. And then it's going to be about 66 degrees during the day, Thursday, and then 61 is going to be the low. And then for Friday, it is going to be 72 for the high and 42 for the low. And then moving on to Saturday, as you can see, the rest of the week is going to be pretty sunny. So Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday are all going to be sunny days. Saturday is supposed to be 65. Sunday is supposed to be about 77. And then as we move on into Monday and Tuesday, it is supposed to be pretty warm. It's going to be up in the 80s, making the week start off pretty warm. 83 for Monday, and then 81 for Tuesday. I know that with the severe weather coming, I am a little nervous. I'm not a big fan of severe weather. So what are you guys' plans to stay safe during the severe weather?
Well, I know just earlier in the week, we were showcasing the Big Red safety books that you guys can follow all those precautions inside. But as far as me, I'm just going to stay at home. Make sure you guys stay off those roads and just be as safe as possible.
Absolutely. Destiny, is this the severe weather remnants from the Mississippi tornadoes that we covered earlier this week? Is this what the severe weather is likely going to be?
No, that's not really causing that. This is kind of separate from its own.
Okay, very much. Thank you very much, Destiny. And coming up in social media, Why is the state of Arkansas suing 3 social media companies, including TikTok?
And a decision against Google in an antitrust case has just been announced. Emma Birch has this and more right after the break.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all, if I could go back, I would. But I can't.
You can achieve a lot using your imagination. I mean, I don't like to brag, but... Wait, who's that? And why is she all over these achievement awards? But with STEM, the sky's the limit. Shaboom! Use STEM to envision... Okay, I'm seeing it. Yeah. Invent...
Got any ideas?
I've got a few, actually. And create a better world.
Told you she's super smart.
If she can STEM, so can you. Find out more at SheCanSTEM.
In the land of wonder and awe, you won't believe you see what you saw. Where there's something to do for young and for old, where stories are written and then they're retold. Visit travelok.com today. Come see for yourself and come out to play.
Welcome back, Broncos. I'm Emma Birch, and here's your social media update. The state of Arkansas is suing 3 social media companies, claiming the platforms are harmful to users' mental health and a threat to privacy. TikTok's parent company ByteDance and Meta are all named in the lawsuit. Arkansas says the companies have violated the state's Deceptive Trade Practices Act. The state says that some features on Meta, such as the like button and photo tagging, are, quote, addictive and intended to manipulate users' brains. The lawsuit also accuses TikTok of misleading users by identifying its app as suitable for teens on the app stores. They also say the app is a threat to U.S. national security. In a statement, Arkansas's Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders says they are holding big tech companies accountable. Now, the state is possibly seeking billions of dollars in this potential fines. So far, no word yet from the companies on the suits. In a high-profile antitrust case, the federal judge has issued a ruling against Google. The judge says Google tried to, quote, hide the ball by automatically deleting employee chat messages that could have been used as evidence in the suit. In a statement, Google said it has tried to meet its discovery obligations. Google won't face immediate sanctions aside from having to cover the legal fees. However, another penalty could be imposed by the court down the road. The state of Idaho is trending on Twitter to number 3 after new anti-abortion law passed. The bill limits minors to travel for abortion care without parental consent. The crime is called abortion trafficking. The charges would be a felony, and if found guilty, someone could face 2 to 5 years in prison. House Bill 242 passed through the House and is likely to go through Senate without a problem. The Army is taking down some of their new commercials with actor Jonathan Majors after his recent arrest with assault charges. CNN's David Daniel has more.
When you look into your future, do you see a life full of obstacles or possibilities?
An obstacle for the U.S. Army's new Be All You Can Be ad campaign featuring Jonathan Majors. The Army paused the campaign after the actor was arrested in what New York police termed a domestic dispute. He faces charges of assault, strangulation, and harassment. Majors' attorney says the actor is completely innocent and expects the charges to be dropped soon. The spokesperson for the Army Enterprise Marketing Office said in a statement, while Mr. Majors is innocent until proven guilty, prudence dictates that we pull our ads until the investigation investigation into these allegations is complete. Adele is extending her Las Vegas residency. The added Weekends with Adele shows at the Coliseum are due to run June 16th through November 4th. Fans can register now for the ticket pre-sale, which begins Wednesday, April 5th.
Tell me more about your foster mother. You like her? Would it make you feel better if you came and stayed with me? Yeah.
1001 is getting strong reviews. Teyana Taylor stars as a woman who kidnaps her 6-year-old son from New York's foster care system, as both try to figure out who they are.
I'll go to war for you. You know that?
1001 opens in limited release Friday. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
With the upcoming and charges against Jonathan Majors, it's just a sad situation all around because he is an upcoming actor, and I think he could go far.
Yeah, I think it's a really, really sad case. I know Creed just came out. That movie was doing so well, and I know it's really unfortunate to see whenever people take just a swift career change like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tough to see, but coming up, football season is around the corner, and the Broncos are back on the practice field.
And the Oklahoma City Thunder are back in action tonight.
Jaden Ford has all that and much, much more right here in sports. Don't go anywhere.
Feel the beat of nature at a park or forest near you. Find a forest and music inspired by nature at discovertheforest.org.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Welcome back, Broncos. I'm Jaden Ford, and this is your Wednesday Sports Report. Central Oklahoma softball team swept a pair of games against Southern Nazarene in this midweek non-conference doubleheader. During the first game, both teams struggled to get runs. However, the Lady Broncos pulled out a close victory over SNU, winning the game 3-2. In the second game, UCO got things going very quickly, ended up winning in a run rule victory 11-1. UCO improved to 25-4 on the season and is back on the road this weekend. The Broncos play Newman Friday starting at 2 p.m. in Wichita, Kansas. All of the offseason workouts have came to an end, and now the pads are popping. Football season is approaching faster than you might think. Central Oklahoma started spring practices Monday, and as early as it is, this is where champions are made. Spring football is the first chance to put on pads ahead of the new season. This is where you show everyone you're ready for all the newcomers, and this is where you earn respect from the coaches and hope to make somebody's position yours. All the practices start at 3:30, and anyone is welcome to attend. Central Oklahoma's baseball team held off a late run by Northeastern State and picked up a very much-needed 10-9 conference win. The Broncos improved to 21-9 on the year and officially take the season series. Against NSU, the Broncos lead the season series, and they're up 2-0, and they will play their last game this next week in Tahlequah. These two teams will play the third game in April 11th in Tahlequah, UCO head baseball coach John Martin said, "We played really well early, and we found a way to get it done, so we'll take it." UCO returns home from a 5-game road trip this weekend and is scheduled to play Pittsburgh State in a 3-game series Friday at Wendell Simmons Field. UCO's own Bennett Baldwin has been named MIAA Men's Golf Athlete of the Week. Bennett earned this award following his win against the Bronco Invitational. This sophomore from Central Oklahoma shot an impressive 3 over par rounds to win the title. Last week, Evan Griffith finished 5 under at the Oak Tree Invitational, and he clinched his first ever title and was named MIAA Golfer of the Week. This marks 2 weeks in a row this award was given to a Bronco. Congratulations, guys. The Oklahoma City Thunder played a huge game against the Charlotte Hornets last night, unfortunately losing 137 to 134. The Thunder, who control their own destiny, are missing their best player, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. The Hornets are also missing their best player in LaMelo Ball, causing the 25-61 team to basically play spoiler. In the last few games, the Hornets have strung together some wins, but the Thunder look to end their streak at home. However, Charlotte's P.J. Washington seemed to have other plans. Washington scored 43 points in the Hornets' victory, outshining the Oklahoma City Thunder's Josh Giddey, Isaiah Joe, and rookie guard Jalen Williams' 30-point trio performance. The Thunder are back in action tonight at home against the Detroit Pistons at 7 p.m. And hey, Brady, the Thunder play the Pistons tonight. You think it'd be an easy win, wouldn't you?
You'd certainly hope so. Pistons not very good. Thunder need a bounce back. But Jaden, what player other than SGA coming down the stretch do you think is going to be vital for Oklahoma City to push in the playoffs?
I think Jalen J.W. Williams, the guard out of Santa Clara, California, can be the guy. Last night he had a huge game. And, of course, Josh Giddey. It seems that every play he makes is the right one. I'm excited to see what he does tonight.
I couldn't agree more, Jaden. Thank you so much. And coming up on the other side, not to toot our own horn here, but UCentral Media won a few awards, Miracle.
Yep, so keep it here. We'll also have your last look at weather with Destiny Pittman.
Feel the beat of nature at a park or forest near you. Find a forest and music inspired by nature at discovertheforest.org.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Broncos, and let's take our last look at weather with Destiny Pittman.
Welcome back, Broncos. So I'm just gonna give you an update for the weather for tonight. So tonight it's going to be about 50 degrees outside. It's going to be pretty clear, so there's not going to be any clouds in the sky. And then the winds are going to be blowing south at 11 to about 14 miles per hour, but there will also be some high gusts of wind up to about 28 miles per hour. The humidity rate is going to be about 32%, and then there is not a chance of rain for tonight, but just keep in mind that starting Thursday night, there is going to be some storms coming in. That's all I have for now. Back to you at the desk.
Thank you, Destiny. And tomorrow afternoon, there will not be a UCentral News show, as our team will be attending the Oklahoma Broadcast Education Association Awards in Tulsa.
UCentral won first place for directing during election night coverage, second place for multimedia journalism, and also second place for overall newscast. There are so many individuals who will be receiving awards during the event, and I actually happen to be one of them. I was the director for the one that we submitted for second overall newscast, so pretty
and
excited.
I won, personally, me alongside Jackson Rowbottom, won first place in sports radio show. It was a labor of love that we got to do. But there were a couple dozen UCentral students that won awards at OBA. Congratulations to them and all the hard work we've put in. And congratulations to everybody who won something. But for right now, we will end the show here. My name's Brady Gray.
And I'm Miracle Garrett. You guys have a great night. We will catch you next week on Monday.